Hello and welcome to the show. I'm back on Car Mechanic Simulator. Today going to be continuing work on the Pantera, hopefully going to be able to find the assorted bits that we need for the car. Between the three vehicles that we found in the barn last time, I am hoping we can mostly complete the Pantera. Yeah, it's going to take a fair few bits. So the first thing that we need, or the first thing we're going to work on today is for the rear of this car. We need some of the drive axles. Both sides we need drive axles. We potentially need bits of drum brake. I'm not sure how many we have. Now we are going to find drum brake parts and drive axle parts on this vehicle. Now, whether we're not going to find all of the bits that we need, and whether they're all going to be repairable, whether we're going to repair all of them, I don't know, because there are some suspension bits that we don't have on here that I think the Holden will have. I'm going to run out of bloody spaces for cars in here. We're going to run out of spaces real quick for cars in all of this. Right, so we'll get rid of the wheel hub for a sec. I don't think I need the wheel hub, actually, because I think that is complete over here, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got wheel hubs on both sides. Right, so brake. If we can get a set of brake stuff completed, we've got... Okay, that's good news. Everything we pulled off of there has been repaired, which means we will have enough drive axles for this. Will we have enough drum cylinders? We've got 2 of. Brake shoes we've got 3 of, and actual brake drums themselves we have got 3 of. Perfect. That is what we want to see. So between the Bel Air and the bits that were already on this junk Pantera, we have got a complete sorted back of the almost. I say complete sorted back of the car. We do need that spring cap. Can I... Oh, it's going to be a real tough juggling act, trying to get all of the bits off of these cars that we need. Access for wheels. Oh, damn it, I have to put that on the lifter. Arse. It's going to be a pain. Right. Have we got everything that we need out of this car? Engine-wise, we pretty much stripped it down. Ooh, I don't know what we need exhaust-wise on here. Let's go and take off the exhaust. Right, plan. We're going to get the bits that I need off of this car and then just sell it. I'm afraid the Bel Air is going to be a useful donor car, but I need the garage space. I need the garage space to actually be able to work on the Holden to be able to pull a couple of bits and pieces off. Now, I don't think I need anything's exhaust pipe because I'm pretty sure this is all stuff that doesn't fit on our vehicle. I'm pretty sure it's all extra because the Pantera, of course, being a mid-engine car, won't have the same exhaust layout. It uses a bit of the bodywork to have essentially have a custom exhaust. It uses it's a sneaky tactic for the way that these mods work, basically. And I believe that we don't have any exhaust bits aside from the manifold, which unfortunately is going to be a real pain in the ass for us to get because of all of our V8s we've gone through, we've only got one manifold that is good enough condition. So that's going to be another searching job. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's steering knuckle C that we need on our Pantera, and this hasn't got that, and I have a horrible feeling the Holden doesn't either. Bugger, that's a pain. Maybe the RS200 might. I think it's B that we're looking for. A lot of this stuff here will be transferable between this car and the Pantera, if I remember correctly, because I'm pretty sure that just had this straightforward double wishbone suspension. So I will pull all of this off, and then when this is done, we'll just sell the car. It's a shame. It's a nice car, but we only needed it 4 parts. Essentially, that was the only purpose in getting it. As interesting as it is, it'd be a lot more fun if I could put the sort of superchargers in. I don't know if there's a supercharged version of this car. I assume not, perhaps. Oh, do we need... Well, I actually needed the steering rack. Front cross member, I don't think we do need, because this one here has got the cross member in it. All the rubber bushings. Right, so we can then go... Somebody... I mean, I'll sell it on so somebody can work on the... You know what? I'll actually be nice. I'll be nice. Whoever is the next owner of this car, it actually might make me a little bit more profit. We will use the equivalent. So it's $1,000. Well, we'll get the chassis in good condition. It's added about 1,000 onto it. Not really made much of a profit. Yeah, we've got the chassis sorted. It needs a little bit of work. Okay, it needs a fair bit of work, but for somebody out there will make a nice job of that car. Fortunately for me, it is cluttering up the garage, and I'd rather work on the... Well, I need to get some parts off of the Holden first, and I'd kind of rather have the Holden completed, because I built the Del Rey Customs before. Right, okay, so we're looking for rear suspension gubbins, we need a rear shock absorber cap, I think we need all of this. We might even need a U-bolt, actually. I should have stolen it off the bloody Bel Air. Yeah, we do actually need 2 U-bolts. Whoopsie. Never mind. Ooh, of course, it's got a whole bunch more stuff to now go through and repair. Yeah, spend a lot of time doing all of this stuff. I do much prefer having the repair anything mod. I find it's more fun. It's kind of more rewarding rebuilding cars, sort of repairing parts rather than just going out and buying everything straight up. It does mean you get a lot of crap hanging around and a lot of time going through repairing stuff. Right, spring cap. There we go. Have we got a complete set? We have got... In fact, we actually had... It was only the... the base cap that is the thing that we were missing on this vehicle. Let's go and lift this up. Right, U-bolts. U-bolts. We'll go steal some off the back of the Holden. Now, this is only temporary. We will restore the Holden at some point as well. However, for now, we are going to pull off bits from here and hopefully get the Pantera up and running. Ooh, okay, the leaf spring plate that we did need is just going to be repairable. Oh, no, it isn't. I guess it's like a percent, like a point. No, 15% isn't. Actually, I think 15%. I have repaired parts out. I think there's probably like a little percentage chart, a little, yeah, a little sort of point on the number. Like the 15% there might be like 14 point something rounded up. So... yeah, I guess that's the thing. Oh, maybe it is 16% that they have to be at. I think I managed to break a U-bolt, but we're going to have enough parts regardless for this. Because, yeah, we only need one... Oh, we had a plate. Maybe I just forgot to put it on. Or maybe it did repair... who knows? Who cares? We've got the... We've got the car together. Is that the entire rear now completed? Yes. Well, I say entire rear completed. We need an engine. We also need a radiator. We found that in the RS200 last time, didn't we? We're going to steal the radiator out of... This is a real Frankenstein's car that we are building, this Pantera. It's... I did see a couple of comments last time about the weirdness of the combination of vehicles. We've got bits of Holden suspension. We've got bits of essentially Bel Air brakes. We're going to have a radiator from an RS200. We'll probably have some other bits from the RS200 as well by the time we're finished with this, possibly. Anyway, we'll see. Alright, let's get the radiator in before I forget about it. Drop here. That's actually a little bit awkward to work on. Cooling, I guess, that should work. Radiator A. Oh, we're going to need... Oh, bugger, we're going to need fans, aren't we? Where the hell am I going to find them? This didn't have any of the fans to go with the radiator. That was all. It was just the radiator on its own. Oh, bugger, because we need 2 fans as well, because it's the radiator A. It has... Oh, that's going to be a nightmare to find. Damn. Okay. So we're not going to be able to complete the radiator. We've got some of it, though. I mean, the bodywork's going to take a while to find as well. Let's go and have a look at the front. Right, we need steering knuckle... Oh, wait, we need 2 radiators? Oh, bugger. Double bugger. Oh, it's going to be a real nightmare. That's going to be a real nightmare. Oh, yeah. Okay, steering knuckle. We need a steering knuckle B, and you are steering knuckle C. I had a feeling that might be. What are you on here? You're just a front general suspension cross member. Ah, you're steering knuckle B. Is the steering knuckle dependent upon the front cross member? That's cross member B. This one here is crossmember D, and this one here is just generic crossmember. I don't know. Don't know what quite what determines the steering knuckle. I mean, the car's here. This is again double wishbone suspension at the front. I guess slightly different perhaps with this being an all-wheel drive vehicle. I'm going to pull off everything out of here as well to get to the bloody part that we need. It's a pain in the ass, but there we go. I mean, look, between all of the parts that we have going on here, there's definitely going to be enough. There's definitely going to be enough to fix up the... what's it called? Fix up... why has that not come off? Oh, okay, it's just something glowing red at the top. That's strange. Definitely going to have enough to fix up the Pantera suspension-wise. We will probably have enough to fix up one of these other cars as well. We'll probably work on the RS200 before we work on the Holden, just because I want to work on a different engine. I don't think we've had a turbocharged... have we had a turbocharged engine at all? I know we had the supercharged Ford, and we had the GT40 was supercharged as well. No! The steering knuckle B was crapped up. It was only a 14%, so that's not going to be... Of all of the parts on this bloody barn-find car that I needed in good condition, that steering knuckle is really... It's a real pain, because I can't build any more of the front until we have the steering knuckles that we need. And I've also managed to go and zoom into the wrong bit. That's a pain in the arse. I don't really want to have to go to... in fact, I can go to the auctions, but unless a Pantera comes up, I'm not actually going to necessarily find the bits that I need and trying to grab cars from junkyards and so on. It's actually going to be a real nightmare finding the very specific parts that we require for this. Okay, please have this one here. Does look like that should be in good enough condition for me to repair. There we go, 56%. Don't know if we need sway bar A or sway bar B, so I'll grab these parts while we are here. I mean, seeing as we've pulled apart this car, I might as well just keep going. I'm going to stay up there for now. Right. Steering knuckle B, the one that we do have. We've got some extra overbushings hanging around, some brake pads and so on. That's actually pretty good condition, wasn't it? So it's going to be a little while before we get to it. Please let me repair... Very, very important part actually went through before I realised. That's fine. The very important part has been repaired. Steering knuckle B. I can't believe we managed to... That one there was crappy condition. Right, the rest of this... Oh, let's lift you up. Should go together with relative ease. We shouldn't have too many problems because we've taken off a whole bunch of these parts between the Bel Air and the RS200. We should have just about got everything complete. I did off camera just pull apart the shock absorbers that came off of the Pantera. They were pretty knackered, so we will have to pull apart some of the ones that we pulled off the other vehicles, but again, we're going to have more than enough of them hanging around. I do have enough vented disc brakes as well. That's a small concern. Again, we've pulled stuff off the RS200. It should be enough, again, to get all of this. Brake calipers are good. Have we got the bearings for it? We should do, yeah. Got plenty of wheel bearings and the cap. Perfect. Now, we need to get... Oh, steering rack. Let's go stick that in. We have got a steering rack. We've got a sway bar in. We've got tie rods. Plenty of those. Fantastic news. Okay. Fantastic news from all of that. Not so fantastic. Actually, join parts. Double wishbone shock absorber, front spring. Oh, we'd have to make up one complete shock from the Pantera. We only really need one complete shock at the moment because the other side of the car is missing. Let's take the parts and stick you on here. Okay, front spring is done. Excellent. Now, can't do anything about this other side. Oh, I'm going to put a tie rod on. That's about it. Can't do anything with this. We've got 3 buggered up steering knuckles. There's no point in me putting it on to see how many of the other parts. I'd have to pull it all off again. So that can stay there. We will have a battery. Oh, I don't even know if I've got one. I must have one in my inventory. We do have one in our inventory. Right, so we'll charge the battery. What do we need? What do we need for the car? Well, we need the steering knuckle, we need another radiator, and we need the various fans for the radiator. That's going to be the biggest problem, I think. Potentially. Of the many potential issues that are going to come up, radiator and radiator fans are going to be surprisingly high on the list of things. The Holden doesn't have them, does it? Because it's the overhead valve engine that will have just a single radiator at the front, and we can't do anything with that, even if it does come with the fans, which it doesn't look like it does. Of course, it doesn't come with a fan because it has a fan will go on top of the front of the water pump, essentially, or front of the water pump pulley. So, it's going to be... Oh, and we need an ignition coil as well, don't we? We're looking for an ignition coil B, and we're looking for a V8 overhead valve exhaust manifold and any bodywork bits we can grab, because I'm pretty sure we don't have hood, we don't have front right or front left fender, we don't have either door, don't have a window. Do we put off one of these? Oh, yeah, we have the left door window we do have. We need trunk window. We need a lot for this car. We need a lot for this car. Probably get number plates together for it. Well, the purple Pantera is coming along, perhaps not quite as much as I would have liked, but that is the way that it goes sometimes. We are going to head off to the junkyard to find some cars and hopefully, fingers crossed, find some of the important bits that we need. So, here we are at the junkyard once more, going in search of various components. The first thing we've spotted is a Subaru Brat. Now, it's not going to have any of the engine bits we need. Will it have the steering knuckle bits that we need? Oh no, maybe not actually, looking at that suspension. That's it's quite a different suspension layout on this. Ooh, some pretty patterns going on with the guys. Got quite a different front suspension layout. I don't know actually how much is the vehicle. 2.5 grand. It's a very, very, very cheap vehicle. Ooh. Ooh, we've found another Holden. We've found another Holden indeed. Ooh, another Holden that's very excited to see us and bounces up into the air. You are 7 grand. You've not got the bits that I... Oh, you might have a V8. Do you have an exhaust manifold on there? Either side. Oh, God damn it. Why do none of you have exhaust manifolds? Why do none of your cars have exhaust manifolds at all? Oop. I think that's one way to look through the car. We'll just jump on top of it. I don't think it does. I don't think that's going to have exhaust manifolds. The good... I mean, the suspension might, I guess, possibly have... Or the steering knuckles might be okay. There is a Civic over here. What are you going to have in terms of suspension? No, you look like the same system as the Brat. Very difficult to tell whether that's going to give us the steering... Because, yeah, I'm not sure whether it's to do with suspension configuration, whether it's to do with the... suspension, sort of the cross member. There's an RS200. There's another one. Well, we know this has got one of the bits we need. We know it's got the steering knuckles that we need. So I could grab that. And I mean, it'd be rude to pass it up, really. Yeah, we could grab. Unfortunately, that's going to be the only... It's going to be the only thing that I can kind of see guaranteed. I mean, we might just use it as a donor car as well for the RS200 when we come around to build it. Oh, didn't notice it's got an intercooler at the top. Yeah, we know it's going to have the steering knuckles that we need. It's going to be a fair amount... Oh, it's only 4... I was going to say, it's going to be a fair amount of money. It's only 14 grand. I guess the other RS200 was a barn find one, was in better condition. Let's buy that. Yes, I am sure I want to do that. You can go to the garage. Okay. So in terms of the vehicles around here, I mean, there's a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars that, as much as I would like to work on them, we've got already a whole host of vehicles to go through. This, as much as I would like it, does not have the important bits, the kind of 3 main bits that we need from it. It's got no radiator, hasn't got... Oh, can we use the sneaky? Not quite. No radiator, no exhaust manifold. You have got an intercooler, interestingly, on you, but no radiator and so on. Does the Subaru Brat have anything? I'm willing to hazard a guess it doesn't. No. Right, so in terms of actual vehicles, finds, nothing great. So now I'm going to go search through the piles of junk and see if we can come across anything that we need. Well, it's not been a completely useless search through the junkyard. Admittedly, I've gone through everything, and these are the 6 parts that are of any use to me. However, the good news, we've got the second radiator. There are 2 steering knuckle bees being found around here. A window as well for the Pantera. We can't put it in at the moment, but when we get the door, we will have a window, potentially at least being repairable. I've also found an RS200 mirror if I need it, and we found one of the 4 fans that we need. I think it's going to be a long, arduous task, or going to involve trips to barn finds, maybe in the auction house, to try and buy cheap cars with radiators that I might need. However, progress was made. Progress was made. So, we are back in the garage. If we can avoid stealing, if we can avoid taking off the steering knuckles from this car, that would be ideal, primarily because I don't have anywhere left to put a car to take them off. So... Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get all of this stuff here repaired. I really don't want to break any of it. Of all of the things, if we break something I don't mind so much about the wing mirror, That has been repaired though, and both of the steering knuckles have as well. Fantastic. That is very good news indeed. That means that we can stick in the radiator here. Of course, we can't do anything about the fan housings. However, at least we have got 2 radiators in this particular vehicle. We will now have enough of the steering knuckles, and we will get to see, do I have enough of all the other components? As I said, we should do. We should, with very little problem, I imagine, have enough of these to stick everything on the car. Well, there's been a fair amount of progress made. I had hoped maybe we might got a little bit more in the way of parts from the other cars, but perhaps not too surprised. There's always going to be the awkward parts that we need to acquire. I'm surprised about it being exhaust manifolds, of all things, that we are missing for the engine. Bodywork's always going to be a pain. However, yeah, I'm kind of surprised to find it being exhaust manifolds and ignition coil, for example, as the buggered up bits on the car. However, let's put in that sway bar end link. We will have the shock absorber, that's the thing. Separate parts, double wishbone shock absorber, pull that apart. We should be able to repair that up, and then we will have the running gear basically ready to go. Don't know what on earth we're going to do about wheels and tyres for the car. I think I actually had a shock. I think I had something. I had a spring in decent enough condition. There we go. Yeah, don't know what we're going to do about tyres. I haven't taken the ones that came on it apart yet. I guess we might be able to salvage... We'll be able to salvage some of it, but getting a complete set is going to be a bit awkward. So yeah, getting a complete set on the tyres is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse. Not much I can do about that at the moment. We might end up stealing them from the Holden or something. However, we will lower that car down. I do believe we are... done, certainly done for today. Good progress has been made on the Pantera. So far it has got bits from 3 cars and a junkyard in it. We'll see how many more it takes to get the car complete. But yeah, happy with where we stand on it at the moment. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.